This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Hey y'all, this is Jonquel Jones.
This is Mike Strong with the Indianapolis Colts.
Yo, it's your boy Buddy Hill. This is Josh the Kid Chisholm.
Clay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors.
And you are logged into
10th year seniors.
10th year seniors.
10th year seniors.
10th year seniors.
You're logged in with 10 year senior.
You dig?
Welcome to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9 and brought to you by our wonderful benefactors, the biggest, brightest, and best sportsbook in the country, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, presenting you this extended version of the Accredited. You get us for 2 hours because what else is there to do on your Saturday? This is the best way for you to spend your time, listening to sports and some other talk radio. I'm Ronaldo, flying solo in the studio this afternoon. It's a very busy time in 10th year senior studios. Very busy. We got way too much going on. Usually 10th year seniors is a platform where we believe, we have the talent and the wherewithal to just carry the show by ourselves. Yeah, I wasn't about to do that. So we're going to bring in Cameron Knowles from Paradise Performance. We want to talk his brand. We want to talk a huge initiative that he's putting on that we're going to talk his 1v1 tournament, the first of many, and this is a wonderful initiative that we're going to find ways to be a part of this because I see the growth of that. We're going to talk how 1v1 is taking over the basketball space, especially on social media. We're also going to talk about his brand, Paradise Performance, the idea behind that and where we see those kind of things going. We're entrepreneurs. We had to step outside of our space and do some things that were against the norm. And he's doing the same kind of thing with his brands. And so we're going to have that conversation, talk a little bit of hoops, talk some NBA, talk some local stuff. But most importantly, we're going to find more people to sign up for this 1v1 tournament. So here's that conversation with Cameron Knowles. We got a very special guest in the studio joining the Accredited for this episode. Now, 1v1 basketball is the talk of basketball right now. When you see, no matter if it's NBA players, YouTubers, streamers, everyone is talking 1v1 basketball because it's becoming the most exciting brand. We're going to get into that, but we want to start with a specific event that's coming up. So 1v1 basketball is coming here to the Bahamas. Everyone listening to this, y'all know someone that talks stuff on the court. You all know somebody that think they the best player in the neighborhood, their friend group or whatever. Well, now you get to go improve it and not in a 5-on-5 format. You don't need a whole team to go get runs. Now, Paradise Performance is bringing you an opportunity to show that you're the best 1v player out there. So we've got the founder of Paradise Performance. We got Cameron Knowles in the studio. Thanks for joining us.
How y'all doing?
All right. So tell us where the idea for this event came about and what made you say, I got to put something like this on.
So I always, been a fan of the game. I've been playing my whole life. Obviously, we all had hoop dreams at some point.
Yeah.
Like obviously at this point in my life, I'm definitely not trying to go league, but I still love the game, and I still want it to be, a huge part of my life and a part of the lives of the people around me, especially a part of the lives of the people of my country. Because Bahamians love basketball, though.
Love it. Love it.
Like I'm so glad that people like Buddy, Kai, etc., VJ exists, because like the world is now realizing that, like in a real way. So I just decided, I want to do something real about this. And I've actually done things before, like whether it just be having tournaments with the youth at church. I go to the New Providence Community Center, so I've had tournaments with the youth there. And I just... Even like at my old, well, I ain't old, but everyone think 30 old. But,
yeah, of course. Except for people that are 40.
Right,
but
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. But anyway, even in my quote unquote old age, I be trying to hoop for real.
LeBron changed the math on all that. Like,
I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bron. But like even at my age, like I try to get people to hoop, and like they use the age as an excuse. You know, so like I always find it hard to find runs, but if they happen, it's because I organized it.
Right.
You know, like I in like 5 different group chats, you know, just rounding up my boys trying to hoop.
And I think that's one of the most difficult things, right? Because even if you play basketball casually, like when I did to a certain point, I would be like, well, where do I go
Right.
to actually just go get a run?
Right.
And you ain't trying to go on a park where you lose once, you're pretty much done for the day because you got to wait like 2 hours. You're working mine. You don't got time to be out there all night. So how do you find like-minded individuals to go get runs? So if you're trying to play fives, that's completely difficult. But this provides you a different avenue. You don't need nobody else.
Nope. You need a boy. It's just you.
Just
You know?
you. So tell us about the event specifically, where it's going to be, what's the format, everything we need to know about this 1v1 tournament coming up.
All right, cool. So originally, you know, I'd planned on doing a 5-on-5. But like you say, because it's so hard to round up that much people, I'd need 40 players.
Yeah, easy.
You know, and like where I could find 40 players. Like I could find them, but like, you know, it's hard work.
It's tough to get 40 people to commit
To
a tournament.
You know, like you could get a loose commitment, but never an actual one. Right. So I'm like, okay, all I need is 8. You know, like let me just get a proper bracket, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. That's all I need. And I say, okay, let me just do that. Let me round up, you know, 8 people who think they could hoop for real and put it to the test. You know, and that's what I've been doing so far as, you know, pushing the tournament. And that's where we at.
Do you have your 8 set? Is the tournament field already stocked, or can people get in?
People can still get in.
All right,
you
tell
know,
them how to do that.
Yeah, so they could reach out to me. My name is Cameron Knowles. You can reach out to me via WhatsApp, 242-437-3341. Or you could Instagram, or you could DM the Instagram page, Paradise Performance 242.
All right, so tell us about some of the rules, because like we were talking about off air, this is not just typical basketball. So if you're thinking, okay, 1v1, I'm a guy, you're 6'3". So let's say you have somebody, you're faced up against someone in the bracket, 5'3", 5'5", or whatever. Right. You're thinking that's chalk, that's easy money, right?
Yeah.
No, there are specific rules to one-on-one. It's completely different. Tell us a bit about the format.
To make it more fair. For example, one of the biggest things, no rebounds. So as a 6'3" player, if I play in someone who's 5'3", I got a foot on them. So every time, I just taking them in the paint. But if I go up and I miss, just like that, it's their
Change
ball.
of possession.
Change of possession. Okay. You know, even like steals or blocks, that's a turnover. That's a change of possession. You know, like if someone who's 6'3" playing me, like I have a handle for my size, but I don't got a handle for real, especially compared to a 5'3" player. Like they definitely got a handle. They better. You know, because they ain't got no post game.
You have to.
Yeah, they got a handle, and they also got a way better chance of stealing the rock from me as someone who's 6'3" and can't handle as well as them. So, like, there's advantages for everybody, you know, and it makes it fair. It's a proper matchup, you know, so it's things like that makes it even.
And what about shot clocks, you know, any of that kind of thing?
10-second shot clock. 10-second shot clock. So you can't just be dribbling up the court all day, you know, just trying to kill the court. No, like you got to get to work. As soon as you get the rock, you got 10 seconds to make a decision. You know, so it's things like this that even fouls, right? You got unlimited fouls, but if you foul them 2 times in a row, that's an automatic free throw for the opponent. So you can't be cheesy.
Right. So you
can't be cheesy, but you got to hoop for real.
You can't spam with the
No,
hacks.
you can't spam nothing. You got to play for real.
Okay.
You know?
Because I know I've played pickup sometimes where I know when I was in school, we used to have the 3 dribble rule. You guys don't have that one.
So the 3 dribble, I considered it, but like, I just want people to get a chance to like go in their bag for real.
I was about to say.
Because 3 dribbles don't really do it.
No.
You know, but I also don't want them to, you know, take advantage and then just run out the clock. So
I think 10 seconds is the perfect happy medium, right?
Yeah. And that's we grow up here in 10, 9, 8, 7, you know, like that's perfect.
For no reason.
For no reason.
We would do that
we on the court for
no
nothing,
reason.
You know, just off of vibes of me doing 10, 9, 8, 7. So the least we could do is incorporate that as a part of the tournament.
So where's it going to be and what kind of atmosphere are we looking at here?
So it's going to be at Anatole Rogers, December 7th from 2 to 6 p.m. So it's going to be there. You could come. Anyone can come for free. Obviously, it's $100 entry for the players, and that's how we get the pot.
Right.
So it's $100 entry for the 8.
Oh, we was going to get to the biggest part of this.
Yeah. So it's $100 entry for the 8 players. So that's an $800 pot. So it's $500 cash that you would get and $300 worth of Paradise Performance merch. And then on top of that, to sweeten the pot, our sponsor, Club One, decided to throw in a free month membership for the winner as well. So you can't beat that.
So you're getting it all. You invest now. Here's my thing. If y'all are there and y'all think y'all could,
Yeah, you think you're nice anyway.
If it ain't even a gamble, right?
Right,
I'm putting in 100, but I'm winning 500 back. I'm getting some fresh merch from Paradise,
And I get to go to the gym.
and I get a free membership at the gym. Which if I'm thinking right, I think
That's
Club
about
One a free gym membership. Yeah, you
a
reach
month is
about
about $120.
right there.
Yeah,
You
so-
go. So you get all that, and
So
all
it's really
you need,
$920, yeah.
all you need is $100.
Yeah, and like I get it. Like Bahamians love to play numbers, so like that got their like reality a little warped.
Yeah.
They feel like, okay, if I bet $100, they're supposed to get 1,000, 10,000 back.
No,
I
not the
get
same.
it. Yeah, but it's not the same.
You got to actually go earn this.
Yeah,
ain't
you
just
got to work
guessing.
for this. You know, like you ain't just hoping for the best.
How many people do we have in the bracket now? Has trash talk already started?
Yeah, it started for sure. I got about 3 or 4 who are already interested in trying to lock in at the moment. So yeah, I got a few spots left.
See, these the people we got to talk to. You got to get these people on video. You got to post them. You got to have them out there. Like you really got to start drumming up this groundswell to get people behind this. Because honestly, I know how Bahamians go. When they start to see it,
Yeah. That's all they got to see for real.
it's gonna be like him. He ain't even a nice.
Right. But that's what I'm trying to do with this. Regardless how it does, like obviously it's gonna do good. It's gonna do well. But regardless how it does,
Stafford going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab.
Bahamas, are you ready for the ultimate Bud Light football experience? Buy 2 6-packs of Bud Light at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location or at participating liquor stores, and you're automatically entered to win. You could score an all-expense-paid trip to watch the Dolphins game live. Don't wait. Grab your Bud Light and get in the game today. Bud Light is distributed by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
going to make sure to get as much content as possible.
Yes.
Just so they could see like how real this is and how much this is actually happening. You know, and like that's why, you know, I try to back it up, you know, with reputable brands like Club One, like TaylorMade, Limeade. You know, shout out to TaylorMade, Limeade as well. You know, taking up the refreshments out there, making sure everybody's straight.
And that's what I wanted to talk about, the atmosphere, right? Because it's going to be more than just, you are going to be entertained just coming and watch people.
And like, because it's the 1v1 format, I don't know if you watch any of the videos online.
I was just about to bring that up. So I think the last one I watched was Baller's Life had a pretty big one. I think it was like two or 3 weeks ago, maybe. That was pretty huge. It was pay-per-view.
Right.
And people paid for that. And that's where I want people to know this is where basketball is going now. 1v1. It's going to a pay-per-view format, and they were doing numbers. And it's a festive atmosphere, man. Fans are close to the floor. Fans are a part of the game.
And when you say close to the floor, that's what I wanted to bring up. Like in the 1v1 tournaments, they literally on the court.
Yeah.
Like they not just in the stands, because it's half court. You only using half. So that other half is just filled with spectators. You know, and like they there, you know, they mowed hard. They more harder than the people who playing.
It's a part of the game.
And all that is a part of the game. You know, so like you might say, oh, that's distracting or whatever, but you can't sit it on Delaport or Malcolm Court.
Nowhere.
You know, that's part of the game.
Actually, I feel like Bateman's tailor-made for this game. Like they should be,
for sure.
They should
like
be used to
this
this.
is more their world than, you know, anything else.
Because if you compare it, right, how much 5-on-5 organized, structured basketball the average Bahamian been playing as compared to playing 21 or just playing pickup? Like this is the game that we grew up playing.
This is what we really know. You know, like only so few of us get the chance to be VJ, Buddy, you know, but like this is what we know. For real.
Yeah.
You know, so you might as well take part in it, you know, put your money where your mouth is. Your mouth out anyway. So come out and, you know, show us.
Where do you see not just this event going itself, but where do you see the whole format of 1v1 going here in the Bahamas?
I definitely see it being a huge part of the culture here and a huge part of basketball culture in general. Like I say, this is what we know more than anything. I just want to grow the sport, bro. You know, I just want to bring more exposure to it because it's literally like the boxing of basketball. 1v1 essentially. Because like I want to get it to the point where we could have a whole league where we could rate players. We could eventually start to maybe get some endorsements. I'm the first one to say Prior Performance is proud to be the sponsor or to endorse the first real athlete that could come out of this. Like we got a lot of brands, Bahamian brands coming up as it is, and I'm sure they'd want a piece of the pie too. Because like we just talked about, ain't everybody could be Buddy and VJ them. But if you could be, a hometown hero right here, getting paid for what you, love, you're getting sponsorship, you're getting the bag, essentially.
And the thing about it is the easy accessibility of 1v1 means you can grow without that quote unquote structure, right? Because to get to that point where those guys are, obviously you got to go through the machine. You got to go through AAU, you got to go through college ball, D1. You got to do all of that. The way this works now, because the world is such a smaller place, because of social media, you can literally just upload things to YouTube. You can build a following, and you can have a 1v1 career. There are people actually doing it that have never touched a college basketball court.
Just come ready today. Just come ready. That's all you got to do. Just come ready and ball out.
And all you need is you.
All you need is you. And you can't get mad at your teammates and this and that, because just you.
Yeah. I feel like we also need to have a Masters League or a league for people who kind of play but not really like that.
Yeah. And not just night league. I want something like, because even like clubs, like how they have soccer clubs, like why we don't have basketball clubs, like why we don't have a Bahamian equivalent of a YMCA.
Yeah.
Like just like you said, we was just talking about how it's so hard to just get like casual runs, like trust me, there's a bigger picture to all this, but like I definitely want to start with this. Also, one thing I want to mention is that there will be refs at the games as well.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
Listen, there's still Bahamians, there's still competition, and let me tell you something. You got money on the line.
Yeah.
So not only do you need to have refs, you need to have like the best refs.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The refs.
Certified refs that have gone through the fire and know how to control things, because when these people know they put $100 on the line, it could be something different.
Yeah, for sure. So there definitely will be refs. There will be an MC. So if the crowd mode ain't hard, the MC mode definitely will be hard.
Who's the MC?
my boy Kai Strawn.
Okay.
Yeah. He's I don't know if you familiar with him, but he's big in the LA scene.
Yeah.
He's a model. He's an actor. He's back home now, and I was thinking, I'm like, yo, Kai would be perfect for this. Because Kai might been out from QC time. I've been to QC with Kai.
Okay.
And he might have been out from that. He think he could hoop too, but whatever.
Put him in the bracket. Put him in the bracket and see where it goes.
Yeah, well, that's my boy for real. So shout out to Kai. He going to be out there, making everybody mad. But, that's what he there for.
So who is eligible to enter? So that's something that you look at this and you think, all right, if I'm just a casual hooper, I can get in there. Is there any restrictions? What if I'm currently playing college ball? Shoot. Yeah. What if and we're gonna talk about the national team in the next segment. What if one of those dudes just decide, you know what? I hear I'm gonna come out and play.
He could come, boy, come. Please.
What if Kai Jones pulls up and he's like,
Kai Jones pull up. You said like you could come, bro. Like
no restrictions, open to anybody.
No, it's on you. Only thing I would say, I would say 18 and older.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But outside of that, ball out, because it's more, I mean, obviously I don't want to sound bad, but it's more on Kai and what he's comfortable with, what his team is comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Once they say that's a slam dunk for me, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So reach.
I don't know, man. Some of these 17-year-olds, look, I watch a lot of high school basketball, and some of them dudes are there that would give these adults the business.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Some of them are there. I don't know. I have a couple in mind that probably would be the favorites if we had a power ranking in this bracket.
Yeah. Okay. So I say 18, but if they could get some consent, from their parents to say, yo, like your boy could go ball out,
and then I think we got to eventually go high school now.
Yeah,
a high school 1v1 version would actually pack the gym.
Yeah, for sure. Because they the ones, because like I say, that's when I was hooping the most.
That's the biggest basketball culture here right now, right? Because I mean, and the reason why I saw this and I thought this would be huge is night league basketball here is pretty much on the decline. There's no fans when you go there.
Yeah.
So if you go,
I don't even know any teams, any players. I don't.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent there. A lot of talented guys there, but there's nobody really seeing it because they playing in front of nobody. They playing in front of empty stands.
And it's a dated structure.
Dated model. Very dated model. It's there's no real incentive behind it other than we get to have bragging rights for a couple months, right? And then players jump from team to team. It's just not
enough.
It just hasn't become the thing to do anymore. And I feel like this can supersede that because it's a new model. So I hope that this is a big part of the reason why we wanted to get the word out, because I hope more of these people get out there. And I hope this first one, although it's 8, next one could be 16, next one 32.
Exactly. Because we could have a little conference. We could have West versus East, just like in the NBA. Like you say, it could be 16. It could be. I could actually do 1v1. I could do 3 versus 3. I could do 5-on-5. If we grow it, we'll have the options regardless. What direction we want to go in. But at the end of the day, basketball is the goal. We just trying to hoop for real.
And you got some sponsors. You mentioned 2 of them. The Club One sponsorship is obviously a big deal because if you're going to take basketball seriously, obviously you got to get in the gym. You got to get your weight up. So that's a big deal. Tell us about the other sponsors you mentioned. I think
TaylorMade, Limeade.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the 2 sponsors we got so far. But yeah, I'm grateful to them. Appreciate how much they believe in the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Word to the people. If you wanted to inspire someone listening right now to get out and sign up, how are we convincing them to get out there and become a part of this tournament? Game On Bahamas, the all-new Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, is where sports fans turn picks into play. From football to basketball and everything in between, we've got the odds that move with the game. It's fast, it's fun, it's built for players who know their stuff. So grab your picks, lock in your parlay, and feel the win with Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. Some fans watch. Real fans play. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook turns every match, every shot, every score into your moment. The better you know the game, the better you play. Now with smarter features and a bigger experience, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players who live the game.
If you for real, like you say you do, if you're out as hard as you say it is, come out and prove it. We right here, we ready. We got the gym, we got the refs, we got the refreshments. We got the pot. It's waiting on you. So just come out, show out, ball out, and let's get to work. For real.
I want to talk about your brand now. Let's talk about Paradise Performance. Talk about the impetus behind you starting that. Where'd that idea come from?
Okay, so I actually have a degree in fashion. So I went to school for fashion in Toronto. I started 2016, graduated 2018. I worked in fashion, Adidas, Lululemon, Urban Outfitters. And I actually moved home in 21. So I have 2 brands, actually. I have Power Clothing and I have Paradise Performance. Power Clothing is a streetwear brand. Paradise Performance is a sportswear brand. So one thing I quickly realized when I moved home is that it was easier to get Bahamians to invest into fitness than it was to get them to invest in fashion, even though technically it's the same thing. Because I still selling clothes.
The lines have been blurred. Because athleisure became the thing.
Exactly. Because even with streetwear, with Power Clothing, I thought that they would realize that from then. But only after I made that slight pivot did I, see the real change. And I was able to get investment from actual investors, financial investment, and from consumers. So I definitely realized, okay, this is the pivot that I needed to make. So once I made it, the brand pretty much was just growing ever since. And now here I am. I now have a partnership with Club One because that's how the whole sponsorship wound up coming about as well. So so now I have a partnership with Club One, and that's growing too. We got a lot in the works. It's not just basketball. It's running. It's a lot that we got in the works.
I was about to say, tell people about Paradise Performance. What does the gear look like? How does it fit into the whole performance? What's the aesthetic of it?
Okay, so when you go to the gym, this was like I guess a selling point for me. When you go to the gym, you got to wear the brands that already exist. You got to wear Nike, Adidas, Gymshark, Lululemon. And my whole thing was, okay, let me do the best I can to make sure that my quality and my aesthetic, mainly the quality, matches these brands as well as possible, if not better. And that my price point matches that as well.
And you know what's perfect for this? Just hearing you list those brands, because within the last few years, Gymshark came from out of nowhere and actually joined that list of
exactly.
brands that have been around for decades.
Yeah.
So they're up there now with Nike, Adidas, and everybody else. So that's kind of, I'm guessing that's kind of where you see Paradise, in a perfect world, that's where you see Paradise Performance going.
Sure. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm already there. I just got to get everyone else to realize that, the same way Gymshark did. You know, like, at the end of the day, like I say, you got to wear these. When you go to the gym, you can't just pull up in a suit. You know, like, you have to wear these clothes. And that's why I made the pivot, you know, because, like, technically you don't have to wear streetwear. But when you go to the gym, you have to wear gym clothes. Mm-hmm. So if you could believe in these brands as much as you do, why you can't believe in this brand that, you know, same quality, same aesthetic, and same price point. And it's already landed too.
Yeah.
You know, like you shop at Mr. Chip It.
Yeah.
I've seen you there.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So, like, why go through all the hassle of, you know, bringing in all these, you know, foreign brands? Though, you know, I get it. But at the end of the day, this is already here. This is landed, you know. All that is already considered into the price point.
Listen, if I can go, I was actually looking for stuff now. If I can just go out and I can get that, and I can cut out having to wait several weeks, I would do that tenfold. Like that's an easy choice to make.
And you know me, you don't know all these people.
Exactly. I don't know who started Gymshark.
Yeah, you don't know these people, bro.
I don't know those dudes.
And like I said, like that's a promise that I give to my consumer, that I can make sure. Okay, well, if you can not turn your back, but if you can at least take that money that you had for Gymshark this one time and give it to me, then the least I could do is give you the quality that you've been, you know, getting from them this whole time.
All right, I'm convinced we got to talk off air because I'm going to need some stuff very soon, by the way, like this weekend.
Yeah. I'll also be having a pop-up at the tournament, and I'll be up on December 7th.
Solid.
So the merch is going to be there, and I'll be having a pop-up the day after at Club 1.
So tell us about the name, because even with us, people always ask about where names come from, and they don't understand how important it is and how tough it is to finally settle on that one. Just tell me about the naming process, because I love to ask entrepreneurs this, because it's never really easy as you think.
Yeah. So Paradise Performance essentially is a performance brand based in Paradise. It's a performance brand based in Paradise, and I don't know, like, I guess, like, I was going through a lot of different names, 3 or 4 or 5 different names. And I don't know, it just made the most sense. And, like, obviously, I put them all on a T-shirt.
Yeah, to see how it looks,
just to see how it looked. You know, like, just make sure, like, the height was right, like, the way, I don't know, bro, like, it just made sense. And, like,
you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
You get the feeling.
Yeah.
When you see it, it's just there.
Yeah, because, like, my job, right, in fashion, I'm a creative director. I'm a curator. So you give me 3 designs, I can pick the best one. I can't make none of them from scratch, but I could pick the best one. And that's always been my job. My job is taste. You know, so, like, because of that, like, as a creative director, like, I gotta find the best quality. I gotta find the best design. I gotta find the best designer. I gotta find the best photographer, videographer, DJ, you know, so, like, it's always been my job to, like, obviously I can't explain it. In my head, the light just goes off.
Right.
You know, so, like, same thing. When I seen that Paradise Performance on the shirt, I'm like, yo, this the one.
Yeah.
Don't show me no more names, because I ain't considering them. This is the name.
I got it.
So, like, that was the process for me.
Tell us about some of the pieces and what do they look like. I see, obviously, you got a rep your brand. You're wearing it now. Tell us about some of the things that you can buy and also how to get them, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, so I got the men's tee, the men's tank, the men's long sleeve, the men's shorts. I got the unisex hat. I got the women's tee, the women's shorts, and I also got the women's crop top and the women's sweatpants. Well, most of the unisex sweatpants. I got the sweatpants on right now.
Yeah, looking at them right now. I'm on IG as we speak because y'all don't know this, but I'm actually shopping right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually shopping right now because I'm like, I could get with this. More people should get with this because I like the way, I like where this is headed, and I like the fact that you're merging both passions, right?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Now
Sports and fashion.
yeah, because people that to take it back to the tournament, the winner is gonna be rocking his clothes.
Yep. And bro, I love seeing people I don't know in my clothes, bro. Because it's one thing when friends and family support, because that's what they're supposed to do. But like, I was on the highway back home. I was on the Bahama Boulevard back home. I see some stranger danger in my shirt. And I was so happy, bro. I screwed the window down. I was like, yo, nice shirt, bro. And he didn't know who this is.
But he just
Yeah. And like, to this day, he probably was like, yo, who the hell was that? But like, that was a moment for me.
I remember when we first came out and we had our first set of t-shirts for sale, and then people would message me and be like, I seen this person wearing a Tantia Senior shirt. Like, you know them? I'm like, no, we have them for sale. That's kind of how it's supposed to work. I don't know everybody that's wearing it. That's the idea behind this was to just wear the shirt. So like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, bro. And like, I be at Club One and I see people in it too. And I'm like, every time I always be like, yo, like, thanks for supporting that shirt. Yeah. And sometimes they don't even know like it's me, but like I know. Which
is dope, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, athleisure right now is the thing. So all of this stuff, and I'm just looking here on the IG page, and it doesn't have to even just be in the gym. Like this stuff could cross over to everywhere.
I just want my aesthetic in general, whether it be power clothing or Paris performance, to be seamless. You know, like I want it to be something where whether you into fashion or not, it makes sense. Whether you Bahamian or not, it makes sense. Because that's another thing. Like, you could rock this anywhere in the world and it's big global. Drip. But if you're a Bahamian, you get it that much more. You understand why this is gold and not yellow. When I was talking to the printing company, I told them to make sure that it's gold, not yellow.
Against the black,
exactly.
It makes a
like
difference.
It's little things
why.
like that. Yeah, like even like the big 242 in the back, like I like, like how much that stands out. And that's the tank that did the best.
Yeah, because it is I'm looking at the aesthetic, and then you have the aquamarine on the black as well. So like just right away you see the flag colors.
Even with that, I told them make sure it's aqua, because like obviously they have a huge color wheel.
It's a tough color to get.
Yeah.
Aquamarine's a tough one to get.
And it's like, I don't know. And I'm like, bro,
even for national teams, they don't get it right. It happens all the time.
Yeah, like not blue, bro. I need aquamarine. And they got it right, and I'm glad. Like I wanted to stand out.
All right, you got time to stick around for another segment. I want to talk Bahamian hoops. I also want to talk some NBA. I want to use the 1v1 as a pivot to jump off to some NBA topics.
Yeah, let's get it.
We'll be right back for another segment with Cameron Knowles with Paradise Performance.
Yep.
You know the game. You live for the rivalries, the buzzer beaters, the Hail Marys. At Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, we're built for that energy because we're built for players. Better odds, faster action, smarter bets. Visit everybodywinslive.com or drop into an EWL location and feel the difference. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players. Game on Bahamas, the all-new Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook is where sports fans turn picks into play. From football to basketball and everything in between, we've got the odds that move with the game. It's fast, it's fun, it's built for players who know their stuff. So grab your picks, lock in your parlay, and feel the win with Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. So 1v1 is the rage in terms of all the talking points just with basketball. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things now where all the narratives about basketball discourse that happens online is coming through podcasts.
Yep.
And so we had the biggest beef over the last week between Kenyon Martin and Draymond Green. And it's not the only one like this, but as I was listening to Gil's Arena, I was listening to Draymond. I watched Kenyon Martin's whole 27-minute video where
you invested.
Yes, I was invested in this. And then I realized they really just having a conversation about what's more important. the structure of being a team player in 5-on-5 basketball or being a better 1v1 player. Because that was Kenyon Martin's whole argument. I'm a better player than you. But his resume doesn't match up to what Draymond's is, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is more important?
Well, I mean, it depends on which version of the sport you defending. You know, like if you defending 1v1, it's all about me. But at the end of the day, basketball in itself is a team sport. So I have to agree with Draymond. And even like the way I play, like growing up, like I was more of a hawk. Like I ain't shooting that, I ain't care. And then one day someone brought it to my attention, like, yo, like you be hogging. And I honestly had no idea. You know, and then since then, I obviously made a conscious effort to make passing a part of my game. And now I get off on it. You know, like, and like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
You know, and like, how did anyone get anything done without this huge part of the game? You know, and like Spurs basketball, Warriors basketball, like, even like the way the Pistons playing now, like.
The best teams.
Yeah, the best teams. The Thunder.
The best
Literally
teams.
the best team in the league right now. They
Almost
move
as
the
if
rock
that's the
around.
way it's supposed to
It's
work.
almost like, call me crazy.
so that's my whole thing behind watching the arguments, right? Because I'm like, how do you even measure that you're better than this guy? Because he has, to me, I love Draymond Green's IQ in terms of the way he plays basketball. He found a way to fit into the mold of what was going on, and he found a way to stay in the NBA, and not just stay in the NBA, but become a crucial part of a dynasty.
Yeah.
Who knows what his career would have been like if, when he was a younger player, he just decided, I'm just going to go get buckets.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what he needed to be on the floor, because before him, they had David Lee, who could go in there and get buckets.
Yeah.
But he found his way to work with these two light-skinned assassins.
Yeah.
And that's what his career became. Kenyon Martin had a different trajectory because of his history. But I just don't see how, because Draymond gets this knock a lot from older players, right? And it's also a generational gap
They
between
say
the way
that he
people
can't
argue.
play?
Yeah, they say that. So a big part of Kenyon Martin's argument is you wouldn't fit into the generation of power forwards that I came from. And I reject that notion because I'm like, this guy is an elite defender.
I feel like he's Scottie Pippen without the points. So I feel like he would fit, you know, especially because, like you say, the light-skinned assassins that he played with. I feel like if he didn't, he probably would have had to work on his scoring bag more, and he would have probably been Jimmy Butler.
You know what it is? Defense just ain't sexy.
No.
That's what
mean,
it is.
Bro, it is, bro.
But for hoop heads, right? But
Yeah.
in terms of just having internet discourse,
Yeah.
people are not going to rate it like that. So they went from that argument to another jump off point was, okay, so who's a better player, Jamal Crawford or Ginobili? And I was sitting there thinking, how is this even a discussion? It's not a foregone conclusion that it's Ginobili.
It's Ginobili, yeah. I never even heard that. That's crazy.
This was it. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
This is on Gil's Ring. You see how powerful people with microphones are?
Yeah, bro.
They get to set the narrative.
He
The
think that Jamal Crawford.
The entire round table went Jamal Crawford over Ginobili, and I was amazed by that.
As an overall player or as a handler?
As a better player. They asked who's a better player. So they were trying to say that the idea and the notion of team basketball is not as important as going to go get buckets. And for people that made millions of dollars in the NBA and are supposed to be ambassadors of the game, I don't understand that perspective where scoring is the only important thing.
Ginobili also got more buckets than Crawford, though.
Yes, he did.
Also.
Yes, he did.
So I'm even more confused.
More crunch time buckets as well.
Anyway, okay.
A very important part of several championship teams.
What are we talking about?
He's just Argentinian and the other guy's black.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's it.
That's all it is.
But even that don't matter now, because look at the league now. Like, Luka is cooking, Joker is cooking. Like,
it's not even just. So we have a segment where we give easy takes on the show. And last week I said for the next 10 years, the NBA MVP won't be American.
Yeah, will be foreign. And that's why I can't wait for this All-Star game, because USA is going to lose. Like, they got Shea, Luka, Giannis, Joker, and Wemby?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. What are we talking about? Wait, Wemby, who almost beat them in the Olympics
yeah.
with four
With people we don't know.
duds, you know,
With
like
people we don't
compared
know.
to, you know.
You know what the Americans' problem is, right? Their leaders are they're supposed to be leaders of the new school. It was supposed to be Anthony Edwards and John Morant.
And look what happened there. Mind you, no knock on Ant. Ant is getting better every year.
He has.
And
But
so is Cade.
yes, so Cade now is going to come, and Cade is surpassing. John Morant was supposed to be well ahead of the field.
Yeah.
When Nike gives you a signature shoe that early, they're
Yeah.
telling you what your trajectory is supposed to
They're telling
be.
you what you're supposed to be doing.
I
for
feel
real.
like Cade got the shoe deal this year because John Morant isn't going to be.
Yeah. Also, Cade deserves it, though.
He deserves
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but we know not everybody gets a signature
Yeah,
shoe.
yeah.
That is rarefied air.
Literally 6 people in the league.
Yeah, rarefied
Literally
air.
6,
So
yeah.
you could be a great player, you could be a Hall of Famer and never get that.
Yeah.
But the fact that I saw that happen, I was like, oh yeah, they see this John Morant train slowing down,
Yeah.
and you can't actually invest in that long term because it's too unpredictable.
Probably not going to re-sign. Like,
If I'm Nike, I don't know if I would.
yeah, I doubt he's going to. He on what, 2 now, right?
Yeah.
He's probably not getting a 3.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the 3 just came out, but everything around you is negative. But they were supposed to be the standard bearers. Hey, this is where American basketball is going to be going.
Yeah.
These are the
Yeah.
young guys on Team USA. They are supposed to be the leaders. And I don't know, sometimes I'd be having some off the court stuff. We know Ja's whole thing. But meanwhile, when you look at the international guys, that's just the 5 that you named.
Yeah, that's just the 5, bro. Oh, my, what's your boy on the Magic, bro? Wagner.
That's France.
Marketing. Oh, my God. But that's a headache.
Yeah.
International players is a headache, bro. What's your USA 5? Best USA 5 right now. And I ain't talking, I mean, obviously you have to put Braun and Steph in it, but like, go on.
Yeah, but
They only got 1, 2 left. So give me your 5.
Braun's not going to play in this. Braun's not going to play because I don't think even if he gets
He not
voted,
playing in the All-Star game?
yeah, I think even if he gets voted,
Against-
I don't think he's going
Because he have
to
to
play.
bail out the USA. He has to play, bro. What you mean?
I think Braun's going to turn it down.
No way. They would cancel it. What are you talking about, bro?
They could get by without Braun. I mean, when
So Braun can sit down and watch that big game?
I think he will. Because
I think you crazy.
at this point, he's centrally focused on one thing right now. And I think that's a big part of the reason why Sciatica kept him out early, because I think Braun has determined that I'm going to play 60 games this year. I'm going to play 60 games, maybe even 50, and save it all for the playoffs.
What's the 5 then? Because I need to hear this.
Okay, let's put both of them in there, right? For our situation.
Him and Steph.
Yeah, let's say
KD.
Braun and Steph plays. KD's going to play no matter what.
No matter what.
KD's going to play. Their problem's going to be up front. I think they got to go Evan Mobley. I think Evan Mobley's going to have to play.
I think they're going to... The year that Duran have in, I think they need to put him.
He's
him and Baum. even like, we just talk about Cade. So like,
yeah,
what do
and
we
I
do?
was about to say Cade was going to be my 5th choice for that. So I'm gonna go Cade and Steph in the backcourt, LeBron and KD, and then between I'm gonna give it to Mobley over Jalen Duran. I'm gonna give it to Mobley. That's the American.
because of the deep boy, or like what's the reason in mind that? Because even like this year,
I think Mobley's just more versatile than he is. Durant's very good. That's not a knock saying that he should be an all-star, and I think he will. I think he will be. I just think Evan Mobley's a better player. Evan Mobley also extended his range to be a consistent 3-point shooter.
he's more. I agree. He's
well
more
ahead of
versatile
schedule.
right now. But
Yeah.
like, if we talking true big,
Yeah, but what's a true big anymore?
we got
What's
him.
what's a true big? I mean, it's a renaissance in the position, right? But the person who's going to dominate the league for the next 10 years isn't a true big. He's 7'5", but he ain't a true big.
Yeah.
So what's a true big anymore?
Yeah.
You know who I think the savior of American basketball is going to be?
Flag?
No. He's not even the best player in his draft class. That's VJ Echko. I think it's going to be Derek Queen. Derek Queen has a lot of Joker's game. Derek Queen is going to become
What team does Derek Queen play for?
the Pelicans. Derek Queen is
The
going to
6'9" big.
Yes.
He's nice for real.
He has a lot of Joker's game. He has that. He's like an earthbound kind of forward, but his passing skills are elite.
You think he want to save USA basketball?
I think he's going to be the future.
Yep.
I think he really is going to be the future. It's not going to be his teammate Zion. They flopped.
Oh, I'm so done with Zion, bro.
They flopped on a lot. Like missing on Ja Morant, and maybe Ja Morant turn things around if he goes to like the Heat or somebody that has that great kind of structure, right? But they missed on Ja Morant and they missed on Zion Williamson. And while that was happening, international basketball went in the complete opposite direction. Just USA basketball in general. They were supposed to be the next set of guys. They're not going to be. I don't think Cooper Flag is going to be the savior. I think he's going to be. Well, we know what demographic wants him to be, but
I am not, for the record, judging Cooper for this year because the Mavs is just an absolute dumpster fire.
I judge him. It's on site with him at all times. I will never.
Why?
I will never forgive the time when he looked at VJ on the free throw line when Montverde was playing Lou High, and he looked at VJ and said, "You ain't like that." And I thought to myself, "Who is he talking to?"
I didn't know that.
You from Maine?
So that's even more reason why he nice.
You from Maine? You don't talk to no one from Bimini like that. You out your mind? You crazy? And I mean, VJ has been proving it. And on this platform, we've been saying it from draft night because we was there at draft night, and I was like, "No,
you're supposed to say that.
No, you're the rookie of the year.
To tell everyone else that ain't you that you ain't like that.
That's fine.
You're supposed to. If anything, I rate him for it.
Hey, and that's all well and good. But speaking of someone on the other side, it's on site forever. I wish him nothing but the worst. Like I will always frame it. And at the end of the day, VJ is going to be the best player in this draft class. And I wish John was there so he could really be talking about that.
Okay, so Lord help, no one kill me for this. So I always rooting for Bahamians.
Be careful.
I know.
We about to talk some Bahamas basketball next. So be very careful.
Okay, so I am always rooting for Bahamians, but I am not going to be that Bahamian who's saying the Bahamian is better just because they Bahamian. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to say you good just because you Bahamian. I ain't going to say you better just because you Bahamian. Nah, VJ is definitely playing like that guy.
Thank you. Because
and I'm glad that he is
yes.
because you have a lot of Bahamians who regardless was going to say that, and I don't like that. But I do like the fact that he actually is playing up to that par. Even if they speaking from delusion. Because you got Bahamians who ain't even watched one VJ Edgecombe game, but they still think he should be Rookie of the Year.
They're my people, and I respect them, and I love them. I love them with everything I have in me. And let me tell you why, right? And even speaking to these dudes themselves, and they would never say this kind of thing on record, right? But like just being a media member, they automatically will not be seen as on par with everybody else by the American media. And they may not admit that, but they hate that. They hate that. I'm talking about the Bahamian players themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So they need people to always be in their corner no matter what.
Why won't they ever be on par?
They will never be viewed through that prism by the American media. They will never be reported on that way by the American media. Even when, okay, so sometimes DeAndre Ayton doesn't help himself in the way some things go down. But still, the way he's viewed and the way he's reported on, it feels a lot like attacking and it feels like bullying sometimes, a lot of the time. Okay. It does. Buddy gets a lot of that too. Even, let's talk about VJ too, because even in the pre-draft coverage, we would be sitting there and we would be watching and we would be like, why is there not more coverage given to the person who's the clear-cut best athlete in this draft and who is going to be NBA ready from game one? By the way, who set every single rookie record in game one? It was clear to us, but that media is not going to report on them the same way. It's just not going to happen. I
ain't gonna lie. VJ is one of the first, if not the first player that I've seen actually get some of that. Not pre, but since day one of this NBA season. Like, even like in the summer league and whatever, like you say, he wasn't getting what he deserved. But since the league has started and everyone's watching, I feel like he's been getting some of that. And I feel like if he keeps this up, he will get what you think they deserved and he deserved. Also, one thing I want to ask you, you think if we ever had a Steph caliber or Braun caliber Bahamian, they wouldn't get that attention?
It wouldn't be the same.
possible?
It wouldn't be
Steph caliber player?
It would not be. It's not the same for international players. It's not even the same for Giannis. It's not the same for that 5 that you listed. I'm telling you, the way they're viewed, they have to be so far ahead of the curve. It happens, and it's this way in all sports. And obviously it's going to be like that because
Wemby ain't getting that now.
Is
Wemby's
he?
a freak.
If I just always look at it and I say, imagine if Wemby was American. Imagine if Shohei Ohtani was American. Imagine if Joker was American. They would be everywhere. You would not be able to escape them.
Joker got a shoe deal I didn't even know.
You wouldn't be able to escape them. And I remember Buddy being drafted. I remember when Ayton was drafted. I just think I am okay being delusional with them and being in their corner no matter what. I am completely okay with that because they're not going to get it from any place else. So if we need to be the people that are absolute homers all the time, I'm good with doing that.
Yeah, that's fair. Because like New York fans, they...
So all my delusional people that don't actually have to watch VJ game, but y'all in y'all barbershop arguing that he's better, right. I with y'all.
Honestly, I would that.
Y'all my people.
I support that.
And we're gonna use that.
You know the game. You live for the rivalries, the buzzer beaters, the Hail Marys. At Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, we're built for that energy because we're built for players. Better odds, faster action, smarter bets. Visit everybodywinslive.com or drop into an EWL location and feel the difference. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players. Game on, Bahamas. The all-new Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook is where sports fans turn picks into play. From football to basketball and everything in between, we've got the odds that move with the game. It's fast, it's fun, it's built for players who know their stuff. So grab your picks, lock in your parlay, and feel the win with Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook.
As the launch pad to talk about something that you was talking about off air, DeAndre Ayton being a Laker.
Yep.
Now, when that deal happened, you had so many people who were killing that.
Yep.
So many people were killing that. The whole NBA dialogue on Twitter, social media, they were killing that. Ayton has no motor. He's not going to fit in. He's not going to be this. He's not going to be that. Slow start. But you know what we said on the 10YS platform? We said, hey, relax.
Not too much.
He's playing, first of all, he's playing with 2 Hall of Famers.
Yep.
They ain't reach yet. 2 people that like to distribute the basketball. His job is going to be the easiest it has been in his career ever to this point. And I say, y'all act like this isn't a man who's averaged a double-double for 7 seasons in a row.
And he is hooping right now.
He's hooping. He was playing last year in Portland. Who was going to give their all in Portland last year when, your coach is now arrested? Anyway, it was a lot going on in Portland.
Guard? And, it definitely wasn't no passing guard like Luka and
It
Bron.
was Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons and, Portland was just doing whatever they wanted to do with their
shoot first
backcourt.
guards for sure. So he wasn't.
So now, what do you think about Ayton with the Lakers so far?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm proud because, like I said before, I love my Bahamians, but I also love basketball, so I can be real.
Don't be real. just I don't understand why we feel like we have to do that. We don't have to be real. We could just be biased all the time.
All the time. Okay, well, Either way, it don't matter because I'm gonna wind up aligning with you, and he is balling.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way he was playing in Portland. I also didn't like the fact that they traded him from Phoenix because I feel like they had everything they needed.
He was the scapegoat. You know what that was? That was new ownership syndrome. That's a new owner coming in
just come
thinking,
in, shake the room, and just mess it up.
and now look at where they are.
Now
look at where he
Phoenix.
is. Devin Booker's the only holdover from a team that went to a championship.
And the thing is, they had the same team plus KD. I try to figure out who they even moved for KD.
They were good.
They were good because I know for sure they had KD, Ayton, and Book.
Mm-hmm.
That's plenty. They could just figure out everything else. They even had Chris Paul.
Yep.
That's more than enough.
New ownership.
Next thing you know, I blink and it's KD, Beal, and Book, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Because
and no bench.
Ayton was the scapegoat. Ayton was the scapegoat. He's always the scapegoat, and which is why I say objective journalism's overrated. Never gonna do that. Never gonna do that. But yes,
I respect your
Yeah, never gonna do that.
It's necessary. You are showing me that now.
it is absolutely necessary because they will do it for their people. So who is going to be the delusional person for ours? And if it has to be 10YS, then it will be.
So y'all like Spike Lee.
Yeah.
For New York.
Absolutely. 100%.
Bro, the Liberty win 2 years ago, and I was so happy for him.
Yeah. Look, we did that again. Thank you, New York. The Bahamas,
Yes,
the
we
Bahamas,
did.
the
Oh my
Bahamas
God.
did it again for you.
Wait, oh my God, you're right.
And even with that, I remember JJ. There's a shirt right there, House of Jones. When that shirt was bought, we were like, she's the best player in the WNBA. I mean, Asia Wilson's good. Asia Wilson's really good. Whatever.
See, I ain't even gonna get on that because then you could tell me I ain't being delusional enough, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
She's an MVP. She was the most important piece. I got reasons to back all of this up. New York Liberty is a stock team. She was the most important part of that team. That's why she was the MVP. Not saying Sabrina Ionescu's not important. Not saying Breonna Stewart's not important. I am saying it's JJ's team. And now, thank you again, New York, because now you have our national team head coach as your new head coach of the Liberty. We gave you Chris DeMarco. You're welcome, New York.
All right, so I know who anyway, like I said, I don't want to be that guy.
You're going to go ahead, Caitlin Clark.
No, what the hell? So, first of all, the FIFA are going to be great when Caitlin and Sophie come back.
Yeah.
They were literally one game away from the finals.
I have my issues with Sophie Cunningham.
She's what Caitlin needs. She needs an enforcer. She has an enforcer.
Aaliyah Boston's what Caitlin needs.
No, she needs an enforcer. Aaliyah Boston she already have Aaliyah Boston.
Sophie Cunningham ain't no enforcer.
She out here fighting girls. She like one game away from biting a girl off, bro. Give her some time. Trust me. But either way.
She ever win one of them fights?
It don't matter. She willing to do it. Even if she getting breakup every time, Caitlin ain't doing it at all. At least Sophie out there, even if she get breakup, she'll go out and win 1 out of 10. But she still fight them 10 times.
To go full circle, she ain't no Draymond.
I mean, like you'll never want to go that far. But at least
Draymond's a Hall of Famer. Sophie Cunningham will not be.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point I was making is on that Liberty team, I do think that Brianna should have gotten more recognition.
Whoa!
But, it is what it is. That's just the basketball fan and me.
Point blank missed layup to lose game 3. Okay, all right, cool. That's fine. I mean, listen, everyone deserves to have an opinion no matter how wrong it is. Let's talk some Bahamas basketball. The run at the Olympics, because these are the people that need to wear Paradise Performance. I'll plug there.
Yeah.
A run 8 points shy of the Olympics. Big weekend now, and then actually going to Toronto on December 1st. This is the road to the World Cup. This is the path. What did you feel watching that team make that run last summer? Just being a hoop head, just seeing the Bahamas go to places where I've never been before. It had to be a great feeling, right?
For sure. I mean, I definitely want to see more of it. Like I say, I've been watching basketball, like I say, when Braun got drafted, so 03, 22 years. But I always just been watching NBA, and now I finally watching WNBA, watching college ball. I'd watch a high school game if I could, So seeing these games, what supposedly didn't matter growing up, I realized just how much they do.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's, people from my country and my colors, it's a huge deal, so it meant a lot. And I want to see more. And I'm glad that repping your country is cool now.
Yes.
You got all these players who want to play for Jamaica and who want to play for, all these different Caribbean countries and things.
Also,
please.
world, you're welcome because we made that cool.
Yeah?
We made that cool. Yeah. I will stand on that. The Bahamas made that cool because nobody expected that to happen. Mm-hmm. And when they shocked Argentina twice, people in the basketball community kind of raised some eyebrows at that. Where did this even come from?
Yeah, who? The Bahamas. So I was very proud to see that. I think Mobley has Bahamian.
His brother plays for us.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, hopefully we can get Mobley too.
I have many issues with USA basketball. One of them is the fact that they run this like a cartel, and I feel like people should have freedom of movement.
People finally straying away from it, but I don't know. I know.
They got to release them and they refuse to. The hoops we had to jump through. So once you play for the USA senior team,
That's what happened to Clay.
yeah, that's a part of it. So Eric Gordon was like that. Eric Gordon wanted to play for us for a very long time. USA Basketball had to release him. And it's almost as if it was at the point where they said, all right, we understand that we're never going to use him. They're never going to use Clay again. They can release Clay right now.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes into that. There's a lot that needs to be exchanged. Money. Yeah. First of all, they got to decide to release him. Then you got to pay. It's just a whole process. And like I said, they run it like a cartel.
The player or the government got to pay?
Good question.
Because if it's up to the player.
Just know it has to be paid.
Yeah, because I mean, regardless, it could be done. Because if it's up to the player probably got it. If it's up to the government could just get the government the money.
I don't know who paid.
Could just get the government the money.
I don't know who paid last time, but stuff had to happen.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine what it would be like to get Evan Mobley, who is currently probably their best hope. If not their best big, he's definitely in top 3. It's between him, Bam, and Jalen Duran. Like, that's what they need right now. All right, so Paradise Performance. Be there on December 7th. The biggest, the best, the only 1v1 tournament this country has ever had. Cameron Knowles, thank you for joining us on this episode of The Accredited.
Thank you for having me.
We will do our best to get the word out there. And if we were going to be here, I would probably try to convince John to suit up. But next one, we out there.
Yeah, man, pull up.
Only in the media division, though. Some fans watch. Real fans play. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook turns every match, every shot, every score into your moment. The better you know the game, the better you play. Now with smarter features and a bigger experience, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players who live the game.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
When you play against Canada, you're playing against a powerhouse nation. You're playing against the 5th ranked program in the world. So what stood out to me, before I even get to any of what happened on the court, what stood out to me is when you just watched how Canada's program runs. Because that's the thing that I paid attention to, not just this week, not just game night, but through this entire week. The way their program is run at a high level, the amount of staff they had, because basketball for Canada is big business at the top level all the way down to the grassroots level. And to me, that's the model you have to follow. That's what you need to be aiming for, because when that is in place, then what happens on the court is surely to follow. Of course, we've been getting by because we've been fortunate enough to have people that have developed from this country, and we have defied all odds by having the amount of NBA players that we have. And not just the NBA players, by having the amount of professional players that we have. But when you look at it from just a straight up numbers standpoint, Canada had 11 D1 players on that roster last night. 11 D1 players. 5 guys that have seen time in the NBA. And this is not a knock on us, but this is the reality that you face. They are the 5th ranked basketball program in the world for a reason. So I aspire for us to be like these programs on the organizational level, on the business level first, before we get to the level on the court. We kind of skipped several steps. We were able to skip steps because we have Buddy Hield, because we have DeAndre Ayton, because Eric Gordon decided that I want to suit up for Team Bahamas. So we were able to skip some steps. We are still struggling with the part that you need before you get to the court. We are still struggling for teams to travel. We're still at the position where teams can't travel because of funding. We're still arguing about funding. This is not a conversation that's had with top 5 countries in the world. With top 10, with top 20 countries in the world. It's not a conversation that's had.
So until we shore up that part first, we're going to be limited. We're going to be capped. Either that, or we have to hope beyond hope to exceed expectations. And look, we have exceeded expectations because there is no reason the Bahamas should have even been that close to Olympic qualification. But we have, because we've been fortunate enough. We need to build on the good fortune that we've had. And you don't just do that on the floor. We need to build on that from an organizational standpoint, from a business standpoint with Bahamas basketball. It's just not run the same way. And that's by no discredit to the actual federation. I'm speaking from a cultural standpoint. Because showing up on the sideline and watching these games is great. Making a donation at the 11th hour is great. But that's not structure in the organization. That's not what's going to get this program to the next level, because I'm looking beyond this team. And you got to look beyond this team. You can't just look and think about the NBA guys, because in these windows, NBA guys aren't available. We're not getting them until July. You're not getting them until the NBA offseason. So the program itself has to be self-sustaining. And not just with this. Look what happened with the 3-on-3 team. They were supposed to make history in Mexico last week. Unable to travel. Because we just couldn't foot the bill. That's not a basketball powerhouse program. That's not what a powerhouse program aspires to be. So until we shore any of that stuff up, then we're going to be capped in what we can accomplish. But let's take it to the court now. So, as a Kentucky fan, when I saw Kyle Wiltshire was on the roster, I knew what to expect. I knew what to expect. I don't know if everybody else knew what to expect, but Kyle Wiltshire's a dog. And he's just... he's a product of the Canadian basketball system and somebody that has played at a high level. So, he was the best player on the floor. And he set the tone for that game for Canada. But obviously, we're going to focus on our guys. Let's take a look at the numbers. Dominic Bridgewater, 15 points and 11 assists. Isaiah Mobley goes for 11 points, 8 boards. Kai Jones scores 12, has 7 boards. And Kentuan Smith scores 12. Let's start with Dominic Bridgewater. His development and his ability to actually run the team has now become one of the most important aspects of his game, because I remember a point when he would be on the fringes of whether they're going to take him on the team or not. I think he's done enough to firmly entrench himself, and I've been doing this long enough to see him grow from a 9th, 10th grader and to now see him become this kind of player and to see him actually be a leader on the team. That is refreshing to watch. These are one of the pillars of moving forward that we have to build upon. And as his career progresses, he's going to be a linchpin on this team. Because like I said, I'm looking at the windows where NBA guys are not available. First time seeing Kai Jones on the floor in a while. His third time playing as a member of the national team here at Kendall Isaacs. Isaiah Mobley, this was his second national team appearance, so you had those two in the front court. I thought Kentuan was really great too, in terms of having that veteran leadership. He played the prototypical 3, shot it really well, and the Bahamas was in the game at one point when Bridgewater had a move where he did a series of crossovers and hit a 3. This was in the second quarter. The score was 36-31. We were really in it. But the depth of Canada, the shooting of Canada eventually put that game out of reach. And when we were having conversations before the game, I remember saying, it's not how well we shoot the 3. It's going to be how well we defend the 3. That's going to be the difference. So we got Canada again on December 1st, and then we pack it up until the spring when we get back against Puerto Rico and Jamaica. And you see how Jamaica's starting the qualifiers. So we got some work to do.
Some fans watch. Real fans play. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook turns every match, every shot, every score into your moment. The better you know the game, the better you play. Now with smarter features and a bigger experience, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players who live the game.
Stafford going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab.
Bahamas, are you ready for the ultimate Bud Light football experience? Buy 2 6-packs of Bud Light at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location or at participating liquor stores, and you're automatically entered to win. You could score an all-expense-paid trip to watch the Dolphins game live. Don't wait. Grab your Bud Light and get in the game today. Bud Light is distributed by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
Bud Light Easy Takes of the Week. This segment, of course, is meant for us to deliver our takes that we think very palatable, very easy. Shouldn't be too much argument, right? This is stuff that you should hear and you should be able to say, you know what? I agree with that. It's not bad. That's an easy take to hear. Or a new twist that we found out recently, maybe they easy to argue with, because some of the things that we say in true 10YS fashion, you're probably not going to agree with. Or, you know, your sensibilities don't align with the kind of thing we think and the kind of thing we say, which is okay. There's room for you in this space too. We don't want to just be an echo chamber. Although it's an echo chamber when it comes to how great Bud Light is. And if you want to be a part of the Bud Light experience, if you want to join in, and of course you do, you want a chance to see the Dolphins win and play live, just like that awesome commercial just said a few seconds ago, purchase your 6 packs of Bud Light. You need to buy two 6 packs of Bud Light from any of the participating vendors where Jimmy's Wines and Spirits distribute this fine product, and you are entered to win. The Dolphins are going to play the Bengals. You want to be in the building for that. The last Bud Light trip where our winners of the sweepstake got a chance to watch the Dolphins and the Falcons play, heard it was an incredible time. Wanted to be a part of that experience. We didn't. We're not missing this one. Every day, one of the members of 10YS is buying 2 6-packs. We give it away most of the time. We keep some of it, but we only give it away because it's the giving season. We enjoy Bud Light just as much as the next guy. So we want to be a part of the sweepstakes. Hopefully you can join us there. Hopefully you are participating in getting your Bud Light as much as you possibly can. And the Bud Light crew is always on the road. As you know, on Thursday nights, you can find them at Green Pirate. You can find them at the Bay, find them at Kiffer's, Plantation Bar and Grill, and all of those have 6 for $25 specials. Can't beat it. So that's your lineup for Sunday, pardon me. On Thursday, you can find them still at Plantation Caves Heights, at Green Pirate, at Tiki Floating Bar, at the Bay. All of those are 6 for $25, and at Winky's 6 for $22. If Carter was here, he would tell you about how Winky's got something special, and that's why you could get them at 6 for $22. So let's get to the easy takes of the week. Want to start in the NBA. NBA always is hype drama. NBA always has beef. Bud Light, easy take of the week. Ja Morant has become completely unlikable and has bitten off more than he can chew. So we know where this whole thing started. I understand having the chip on your shoulder. I understand having to play with this reckless abandon. I understand just having this particular demeanor because you come from a place where you were not always the highly prized recruit. You were not always number one. Not even in the state. Everyone loved Zion Williamson. They ended up going 1-2 in the draft. He was never seen as primarily that guy. Perhaps that was the kind of attitude he had to develop. He wasn't scouted by all of the major schools. He had to develop that kind of attitude because he was coming out of Murray State. He was coming from someplace where people did not expect the second pick in the draft to come from. But he had a Steph Curry-like run in college, particularly in the tournament. People had to be on notice. People had to give him respect. Became the number 2 pick in the draft and became a legitimate superstar. There are only 6 people in the league with shoe deals from Nike. Or maybe, no, there are only 6 people in the league with signature shoe deals, period. He's one of them. Should tell you everything you need to know. So maybe for him to get all of that stuff, he had to develop this attitude where it's Ja against the world because nobody expected me to be here. But now over the last few years, that kind of trickled down towards being the fake tough guy. And rather than this being a feel-good story, which the American media eats up, rather than it being a feel-good story of the underdog nobody expected to succeed, now it has metastasized into becoming the story of somebody with extreme privilege acting like somebody who doesn't have that privilege. Now it seems as if he's Ja Morant putting on a mask of being someone else. And it comes off as inauthentic. And it comes off as searching for something or trying to be someone that you're not. So the latest episode of him, and the fact that you even have the latest episode, have to say the latest episode of what happened with him is the reason why we have this in the first place, right? Because if you didn't see it, Grizzlies and Mavericks are playing. Grizzlies end up winning the game. Klay Thompson goes back and forth with the Grizzlies bench. He ends up missing the game-winning shot. And then the next thing you know, Ja Morant is in his face post-game, sticking his finger in his face, calling Klay a bum, calling Klay all sorts of names. In the post-game, Klay pretty much delivers the most mannerly, scathing read that you could, just basically calling Ja Morant immature and say you should get your ducks in order. This is a beef that stems back from when Klay was playing at Golden State, so this wasn't something new. But at the same time, if it was kept hoop, if Ja Morant kept it basketball, then there's no complaints. But I think this just goes in line with what people have been thinking about him the past few years, the whole young punk thing, and him being kind of the avatar for this generation. Right now, he's the player that people see as you don't care enough about your job. You don't care enough about the fans. You don't care enough about the people that put you in this position. And then at the same time, you're also not respecting elder statesmen of the game. So you carry yourself with a level of respect that you're just not acquiescing to anything. That's not a likable character. And it would work great if this was a movie. It would work great if this was wrestling. I don't know if these not likable characters in the sense that he is going to work in the NBA. Not when you want kids to buy these shoes. I mean, if he pivots saying certain things, he's very Second Amendment-y with the guns and stuff. So he could go after a certain demographic, and that might work. Let's move on. Bud Light, easy take of the week number 2. Draymond Green was right. Draymond Green was right. We're going to extend our NBA beef talk to the beef that's been going on with Draymond Green and Kenyon Martin. Basically, it's I was a better one-on-one player than you. I have a list of accolades that's greater than yours, back and forth. And I sided with Draymond on this one. I really did, because I remember Kenyon Martin as a player. Not saying Kenyon Martin is a bad player. I think that most people, if the goal is winning basketball, how do you not go Draymond Green in this circumstance? How do you not? And I understand why Kenyon Martin had the reaction that he did. So I'll set up the entire backstory to it, right? Kenyon Martin was a guest on, I think it was Marcellus Wiley's podcast, and they were talking about tough guys in the NBA. He did not list Draymond Green, and Wiley asked him about that. And Kenyon Martin said, I don't think he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he's calculated in his approach and who he tends to go after. Really didn't say anything too scathing, really didn't speak out of his name or anything like that. Draymond took it as offense, took to his podcast and just called Kenyon Martin an underachiever who never had the career that was expected of him, being the number 1 pick coming out of Cincinnati. Kenyon Martin responds with a 27-minute IG Live where he details obviously well-researched numbers and goes through the reasons why he thought his career was better than Draymond's from an individual standpoint, not team success. He's very adamant in noting that he feels that Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer and you're not taking the team success from him because you can't. But then he pivots quickly to he's not individually the player that I was. Well, I mean, which one is it going to be? He then lists like 50 players, I think. He says he can find 200 players better than Draymond Green. He lists like 50 power forwards. And he had some legitimate ones, but then he also had guys like Tim Thomas and Bo Outlaw. Just guys from his era, Popeye Jones, guys that he wanted it to be funny. But this one comes down to one of those generational divides that I think we keep seeing in terms of basketball discourse. And it's difficult because you have most of the game is being talked about in certain spaces by elder statesmen. Inside the NBA is the main basketball show, I think. But you also have on there 3 guys from the same era. Kenny doesn't do a lot of it, but Shaq and Chuck do a lot of this era is not as good as our era. And I think that's trickled down all over the basketball discourse space. And even with fans, that's always the number one thing. This to me took on that. This to me became the personification of that argument. It's my era versus your era. And it kind of strayed away from the one-on-one talk. But Draymond Green is right, man. Like, what are you playing it for? You're playing it. Draymond literally got everything out of the career that you're playing it for. He got 2 ridiculously large contracts. He has the 4 championships. He has the defensive player of the year as the all-stars. So he's got the resume, he's got the money, he's got the championships. I feel like he did this one the right way. That's an easy take, an easy call. Bud Light, easy take, number 3. Is it time that we no longer believe in the Kansas City Chiefs? Because I think that time is here, right? They were pretty much they're in a situation where you pretty much got to win out. You got to run the table the rest of the way in this NFL season to even be in the conversation, to have the shot. Because to a man, we all feel like if the Chiefs are in, you are going to bet on Patrick Mahomes until he you got to see the king die. That's basically what it is. He's going to be the king until you see him fall. What if the king ain't even get to the battle? What if the Chiefs don't even have that opportunity to stand toe to toe with everyone else because they just don't make it? And so headed into the Thanksgiving game against Dallas, you thought Patrick Mahomes was going to go out there to ball out. And he did. But they lost. And so now, even though so much people were back on the bandwagon after a win in Week 12, a big win, by the way, over the conference-leading Colts, and then you lose to Dallas. So now where does that place them? The veneer is off. The mystique is gone. What happens with this team now? How do we react? How does the league react if Patrick Mahomes doesn't have an opportunity to even be in the tournament, to play in the Super Bowl? We've never seen that, by the way. We've never seen the Chiefs not have an opportunity to do this. The road to the AFC Championship, the road to the Super Bowl has always gone through Kansas City ever since they put that dude under center. And for him to not be there anymore, I don't know. I don't even know what to think. I don't know what the playoffs look like without Patrick Mahomes. It's a very weird and possibly scary place, but that's what it has to be. Bud Light, easy take, number 4. Low voter turnout in the... Well, let me preface it by this. Bud Light, easy take, number 4. By all accounts, by all the literature we've seen published, there was an extremely low voter turnout in the Golden Isles by-election. Does this mean Well, let me pose it as a question. Was this just completely meaningless and nothing more than a litmus test? And did people see it as that, so there was really no real reason behind them getting out there? Or do people not love voting as much as we thought they did? Like, that can't be it, right? Y'all love to vote. Y'all love elections. It seemed like pretty much everyone is rallying behind this, right? And there may be a disconnect in just the people who actually had to participate. And this is one constituency, but there may be a disconnect in the way it's covered and the amount of eyes and the attention that's on it from everyone else and the people that actually had to make the decision. Is that indicative of low voter turnout being across the board when the real show, when the real big dance hits next year, whenever that is? What if every constituency is like this? What if people just aren't as politically motivated as they were before? Yes, people are going to go to rallies. Yes, people are going to post all over social media. Yeah, they're going to share stuff. Yes, they're going to be annoying in your chat groups. Doesn't mean they're actually going to the ballot, though. Two different things. While we're here, Bud Light, easy take of the week. Rick Fox should actually run. I mean, what's stopping him? What's stopping him? And if he's a polarizing figure, that actually could work in his favor. And you know why I say that could work in his favor? Because I feel like we've seen that the only thing that matters in this whole thing is name recognition. It don't even have to be name recognition to the fact that they like you. It doesn't have to be. And people are talking resume and all kind of stuff. Look, man, y'all see where the world is headed? Do we see the people that are in positions of power, not just here, but any place? Do you really think that you have to have this old school thought process of you have to put in the work politically and build this political capital? No. People just got to know your name and have strong opinions about you either way. Because if your name rings out in the zeitgeist, then that's half the battle already done. The worst thing, the person that can't win ever at any point is the person you don't think about at all. The person that doesn't elicit any type of feeling either one way or another. I'm just saying, all we're getting them to feel something. Whether they like him or not, whether they think he doesn't have the right to do this, whether they bring up the playing for Team Canada thing, whether they bring up whatever reason, thinking he has an ulterior motive. I don't know. Or if you think, why not let him try? It's not like we're doing so great with the people that are in there. Because, I mean, are we still at the point where we think where we think only lawyers can do this? Again, you ain't really got to be a lawyer to be the leader of the free world. I don't think you got to be a lawyer to be Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Or an MP, just for that matter. Bud Light, easy take. I don't even remember what number we on. Buddy's on the block, ain't he? Buddy's on the block. I've come to that realization, and it's a harsh realization that I feel like we've all had to face. Buddy's on the block. I'm not going to be convinced by any more Steve Kerr press conferences saying how much Buddy works hard and he's a great part of the team and he's a good locker room guy and all of that. Just find somebody where the contracts match. I'm sick of seeing these 12-minute, 13-minute, sometimes 8-minute games. And then once a month, he'll play 20 minutes and be productive. And then it goes back to 11 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, whatever the case may be. And if it's not the place for him, then it's not the place for him. And that's fine. But I feel like he could really help a contender. And when I saw Steph made his last post just before the injury, and he made Buddy one of the pictures in that post, I thought that was on purpose. I may be reading too much into it because it was a slide with a whole lot of pictures. I feel like that one was on purpose, though. I feel like that was targeted. I know how players use social media, and Steph is not one of those people that are very vocal and he's going to say things, but he will do things like this. What does that mean? The Golden State Warriors are a team that's been in turmoil. They've been in turmoil ever since, I don't know, whatever the relationship was between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga that just obviously won't work out. But he was supposed to be the young piece. You have alienated and ostracized your young piece, and then your big free agent signing was Al Horford. And now it seems like Buddy just doesn't have a place. So where do we go from there? Just put him on the block. I'm fine with him being on the block. I just want him to go someplace where he's going to play meaningful basketball. So, to a contender, everybody always needs shooting in 2025 NBA. Get Buddy to a contender as fast as possible. And our final Bud Light easy take of the week. We're going to upset Canada in Toronto. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Going to the end zone, reaching up and making the grab.
Bahamas, are you ready for the ultimate Bud Light football experience? Buy 2 6-packs of Bud Light at any Jimmy's Wines and Spirits location or at participating liquor stores, and you're automatically entered to win. You could score an all-expense-paid trip to watch the Dolphins game live. Don't wait. Grab your Bud Light and get in the game today. Bud Light is distributed by Jimmy's Wines and Spirits, who reminds you to drink in moderation.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Welcome back to the Accredited, powered by 10th year seniors here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Ronaldo, and I will not know what to do with the NFL playoffs without Patrick Mahomes. Thank God we live in this time where we all get to see Lamar Jackson, and I get to just enjoy the benefits of being a new Ravens fan. This feels so much better than all the other stuff I spent most of my life doing. Like, why? Listen, this is why I did not force certain fandoms onto my son, because I was born into that Dolphin mess and I had to deal with that for years. I had to deal with that for decades. Anyway, we off that narcotic. We no longer have to worry about that. Not here to talk about our ex. We're here to talk about our current and how we enjoy things now being a Baltimore Raven fan. This hour, of course, brought to you by Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. It's Christmas season. You need extra money in your pocket. You can also, and this goes without saying, you could use a house. You know where you can win a house? You can win a house with Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. So $10 or more on any of their platforms, and you have an opportunity to win. We'll tell you more about that later. But we want to talk NFL. There's a shortened schedule this week because, Thanksgiving week, there's a lot of games going on. You had a trio of games on Thursday, and then you also had one game on Friday. So 11 games on this week's slate. We're going to jump right into it. Let's start in the 1 o'clock hour, of course. San Francisco 49ers on the road facing the Cleveland Browns. And we know what this game is going to be about. Niners favored by 4.5, over under on this game. Kind of a low line, 35.5. I'm just guessing that's because Vegas does not believe in the Shedeur Sanders-led Browns offense, right? Or maybe it's just because you don't believe in the Browns offense at all, and it doesn't matter who's the quarterback. That's kind of what this season's been. Whether it's been Joe Flacco, you kind of forget he started the season there, right? Whether it's been Joe Flacco, whether it's been games of Dylan Gabriel, Yes, Shedeur Sanders looked like a competent quarterback against the Raiders. But this is still the Browns. And being the Browns means more than anything else. You know what I thought when I first saw this game? This probably should be a story about Brock Purdy coming back and wrestling his job away from Mac Jones, because Mac Jones had some people in NFL circles thinking Shanahan had Garoppolo in the Super Bowl, was a huge third down away from probably winning a Super Bowl. Shanahan could get there with just about anybody except for Trey Lance. Shanahan got there with Garoppolo and Purdy. Could he do it with Mac Jones? Because Mac Jones had command of this offense. But once Brock Purdy came back, and Brock Purdy looked the way he looked in week 12, then it's like, okay, we see it. But is it enough of a gap to warrant the huge contract that he got, though? Because there's two ways to win in the NFL. Two paths. The path that seems to be the one best for team building is when you get that quarterback at value and you can spend on so much other aspects of the team. And you can only get them before they reach that second contract, because once an elite quarterback gets to that second contract, you got to make them one of the highest paid players in the league. That's just the way the market's set up. It's a foregone conclusion. And they ain't even got to be that great, because look at what I think the last group of quarterbacks to get these major contracts, it was the Tua Jordan Love class, I want to say. Jordan Love and Tua got in excess of $50 million a year. One of them deserves it. The other one plays in Miami. But back to the 49ers and Browns. The only reason to watch the Browns for the rest of the season, we all know that Shedeur Sanders has been a lightning rod of attention ever since he was at JSU. This is just the life that he was born into. It's through no fault of his own. His father's incredible at being a football player, a leader, and is incredible at marketing. So obviously you want the best for the people coming up after you. I ain't mad at that. You are in a position of power. You are in a position of privilege. Make sure your kids are in that same position too. I am mad at Deion Sanders. I am mad at LeBron, because ain't nobody mad at Bruce Pearl when his son took over the head coaching job at Auburn. Nobody's mad when a CEO of any company, call them Company X, puts someone with their same last name that looks exactly like them in that position of power, bypassing anyone else that could have possibly been ready for the job. We don't be mad at that. I am mad at none of these people putting their children in positions of power. So I don't have a problem with Shedeur Sanders from that perspective. The coverage of him is just exhausting. That's all. I'm just tired of the coverage of him. So I don't want this game to be about him. I want the Browns season to be about the only thing they even have to play for, the only reason worth watching the Cleveland Browns, and that is watching Myles Garrett chase this sack record. Myles Garrett has 18 sacks in 11 games. That is one of the most ridiculous stats. That's something I never thought that I would see. 11 games? It's been a dysfunctional, chaotic season for the Cleveland Browns. But for Myles Garrett to have 18 sacks, theoretically, he should coast to the single-season sack record. He needs 4.5 to reach Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan set the record 22.5 back in 2001. Well, he shares it. Does he share it with TJ Watt, or does TJ Watt have? I think both he and TJ Watt finished with 22.5 sacks. Even more impressive than the 18 and 11 games, Myles Garrett has had a full Pro Bowl season worth of sacks in 4 games. He's 13 sacks in the last 4 games. When I was a kid and we would collect cards, we would look on the back of cards, and the line of demarcation for the great pass rushers was if you can reach double digits. You got 10 sacks, we put you on the list of, yeah, this dude's legit. This dude's a Pro Bowler. This dude is one of the better ones in the league. Myles Garrett did that in 4 games. 4 games. So the only matchup I want to watch in this is not what Shedeur Sanders does. I want to see the 49ers offensive line and what they do to try to keep Brock Purdy upright. Because I'm going to tell you, stopping Myles Garrett is much more important than the 49ers winning this game. Stopping Myles Garrett could be the difference between them actually making a run in the playoffs or the whole thing being over. Or the whole Brock Purdy thing being over. I'm taking the 49ers to cover the spread. Yes, I think they win by 5. I want Myles Garrett to inch closer to the record. So I'm gonna put a little something on that prop just for Myles Garrett to get a sack in this game. I want to root for it, so I want to see it happen, which is a dangerous thing to do when it comes to sports betting, because the people that make those decisions upstairs do not be rocking with me when it comes to these things. Let's go to game number 2, Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Colts favored by 4.5. Houston has been on a tear, and Davis Mills. Can anything stop Davis Mills? Is a phrase that I never thought I would say at any point in my life. But it's true. Can anyone stop Davis Mills? I don't know. Texas, if you haven't been paying attention, they have chipped away at the Colts lead in the AFC South. Houston's won 4 of their last 5. Megan don't even know that, and she's an alleged Texans fan. They've won 4 of their last 5, 6-5. Colts still got a 2-game lead, but we've been seeing the vulnerability. 8-3. Have they reached a fork in the road moment after that loss to the Chiefs? This is going to be the story that tells it. This is going to be the one. They made the big splash at the trade deadline to get Sauce Gardner. That's got to start paying dividends now. It has to. So they started the season tremendously against the Dolphins. And for, I think, the first 6 weeks, people were wondering if that was just a mirage. Now it looks real. But to prove that they are a legitimate threat, they are going to have to bounce back from what happened against the Chiefs. So this week here, last week you can understand losing that game to the Chiefs. This week here, there is no excuse for losing this game to the Texans. Texans, I would say they don't have anything to play for, but now, I mean, they actually can see themselves still in striking distance to get this division. So what happens when CJ Stroud comes back? He should be clearing concussion protocol. Do you go to CJ Stroud after Davis Mills has been playing so well? Or if you do go to CJ Stroud, he starts the game but isn't playing well, how soon before D'Amico Ryans pulls the plug and goes to Davis Mills? And I will say you better not do it. I think the Texans continue. I think the Texans win this game outright. I'm taking them money line over the Colts, and the Colts have some serious questions to answer, because with the Texans winning this game, it'll be a 1-game lead in the AFC South. Speaking of South, 2 teams closer to South in the standings in their divisions. You got the Saints on the road taking off the Dolphins. This has to be the biggest line of the season for the Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 6. Let me tell you what the Miami Dolphins are better than doing than any other team in the history of the NFL. They are absolutely excellent by starting a season horribly, having nothing to play for, but ruining the draft pick. So if there's a chance that they can get a really good draft pick, the Dolphins will play lights out only to ruin that. That's it. It's a terrible schedule that they face. But I mean, I don't know. The Dolphins currently, I'm looking at the playoff odds. They have a 1% odds. And all I can think of is Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber saying, "So you're saying there's a chance?" There's not a chance. This is a matchup between a horrible 2-9 team, a horrible 4-7 team that has one of the easiest schedules in the league remaining. So the Dolphins still have matchups against the Saints, the Jets, and the Bengals for the remainder of the season. But the problem with looking at games against easy teams is you don't realize that you're also an easy team on their schedule. Yeah, the Dolphins are going to win this game because nobody knows what's happening with the Saints organization, by the way. Like, this is quietly as I don't see this as the lead on any shows with the people with mics in front of them. But does anybody really know or understand what in the world is happening with the Saints, or what we're supposed to expect from the Saints, or where does this franchise even go? Because if you think they were tanking for Arch Manning really looked like the person that you need to be tanking for. Dolphins win. The best thing you could do with this is go with some player props. Darren Waller, who put up numbers very early on, is apparently back in practice. So if he doesn't come back this week, he's not on injured reserve anymore. So if he doesn't come back this week, and he does next week, I would go with some heavy player props with him because he seemed to develop a very quick chemistry with Tua. And also for fantasy football purposes, he might win you your league if you pick him up on waivers later on. Let's go Falcons versus the Game On Bahamas. The all-new Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook is where sports fans turn picks into play. From football to basketball and everything in between, we've got the odds that move with the game. It's fast, it's fun, it's built for players who know their stuff. So grab your picks, lock in your parlay, and feel the win with Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook. You know the game. You live for the rivalries, the buzzer beaters, the Hail Marys. At Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, we're built for that energy because we're built for players. Better odds, faster action, smarter bets. Visit everybodywinslive.com or drop into an EWL location and feel the difference. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players. The Jets, not horrible with Tyrod Taylor, but it was exactly what you expected a Tyrod Taylor game to be, right? Like, just proficient enough. I think any serviceable quarterback in the league can go 15 for 21 for 175 yards and a touchdown. And that's exactly what Tyrod Taylor's going to do. So the game is going to be close for a period of time until it gets completely out of balance. And in terms of the Falcons, it's back on Kirk Cousins now. The last time Kirk Cousins set foot on the field, it looked like Kirk Cousins shouldn't be setting foot on the field. But Michael Penix Jr. is done. So there's nobody for Kirk Cousins, sorry. 3, 2. Michael Penix Jr. is done. So there is no reason for Kirk Cousins to be looking over his shoulder. It's all on him. He's got the weapons. Bijan Robinson is allegedly a star, but I mean, for somebody who I drafted first in fantasy football, I don't know. Drake London's not going to be available, so will this game rest on the shoulders of Robinson and Tyler Algier? I'm taking the Falcons to win. I think the Jets continue to free fall. The Jets traded away Quinnen Williams at the deadline, and he was the reason, a big part of the reason why their run defense would be anything to talk about. Jets, by the way, in this game, Falcons favored in this game by 2.5. Over under on the game is 40. Taking Falcons. Next up, the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Wow, this is a game that Tampa Bay needs in the worst way, because a few weeks into the season, everybody knew Baker Mayfield was the MVP. Everybody knew that the Bucks were going to figure really prominently into the playoff picture. It was a feel-good story. Baker was all the way back. He was the most exciting watch in football. And then they just had the rug pulled out from underneath them. And it just became a cluster, of injuries. They were down to fourth string backs. They were down to third and fourth string receivers. The defense was injured. And now this is a defense pass coverage that has to contend with Trey McBride. Trey McBride, who looks completely better with Jacoby Brissett. So I don't know, man. Baker hurt himself at the end of last week's game, listed as questionable, but you know he's going to play. Well, you better hope he plays. Bucky Irving is finally back in the lineup for the Bucks. So expect their running game to be the thing. They can actually go run first in this game before they go to the pass. That has severely been missed. I'm going with the Bucks to win this game. They are favored by 3 at home, and the Bucks desperately need to win this game because if they don't, I feel like the feel-good story that was Baker Mayfield at the beginning of the season just rides off into the sunset, and we're left with disappointment again. Let's go Jacksonville Jaguars on the road facing the Tennessee Titans. Another important AFC South matchup. Who knew that we had all these important matchups in the AFC South? Jags favored by 6.5. One of the most inconsistent teams in the league, but somehow are finding their way to win. And they're right there. They're always in the thick of the playoff race, right? And it's because they won 3 of their last 4. They have some of the most, them and the Packers have some of the most head-scratching losses for the season. But somehow they're still there. They're still there. We still don't know what to think about Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. And now they get to play the 1-10 Titans. So yeah, the Jags are going to win this game and they're going to move to 8-4. And we still won't know what to think about them. Minnesota Vikings versus the Seattle Seahawks. Revenge game for Sam Darnold. My fantasy team certainly hopes so because I could have played Dak Prescott and I didn't. I had him on the bench for Sam Darnold, so I'm going to get everything I deserve. I don't even want to look at how much points Dak Prescott had after the Thursday night game. Seahawks, the biggest line of the week, favored by 11.5. And Sam Darnold has to go off in this game. Simply for the reason that, dog, you going up against the ex who said you wasn't good enough. This is a direct one-to-one, apples-to-apples comparison. You had this team in the playoffs. You had this team looking like a contender. They said it wasn't good enough. Not real get better for the next season. You were not good enough. They saw you, Sam Darnold, as a flash in the pan. And this is who they replaced you with. Sam Darnold should throw 4 touchdowns in this game because I need him to for my fantasy team. And he should look at them and he should give them the Thanos quote of, I can't remember exactly what the words were. I wish I looked this up before I said it. But the gist of it is, you did all this other stuff, and it led you right back here to me. Right back here. So every game, JJ McCarthy proves more and more that he's only, he seems as if he's on pace to be a great backup for the next 10 years. But he doesn't look like anybody's starting quarterback. Harbaugh hit him at Michigan. Why do we think that he could do this? I don't know. See,
this Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a lifetime. A brand new fully deeded home. From November 21st to December 26th, every time you play $10 or more, you're one step closer to the keys to your future home. More play means more entries and more chances to win big. Play in-store or online today. This holiday, go beyond winning. Go home for the holidays, only with Everybody Wins Live. Remember to game responsibly.
Seahawks win big. Let's go to Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers favored by 9.5. Did you know Chip Kelly was the OC for the Raiders? I don't know if the Raiders knew Chip Kelly was the OC for the Raiders. I think the Raiders cover this game. I don't have any faith in the Chargers. The Chargers are one of those teams that are perennially injured. And I've always thought that Justin Herbert gets way too much attention and gets way too much of a pass. I don't know. There's always this bump that happens for teams when they lose somebody that they did not love in terms of coaching style, in terms of leading the charge. And I feel like Chip Kelly not being there, it might be a weight lifted off Geno's shoulders. Maybe they don't win outright, but I think the Raiders cover. 9.5 is a lot of points. Buffalo Bills, 3.5 point favorites on the road facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Bills fans, right? That win against the Chiefs in week 9 seems like forever ago. It's the only thing. You thought they were at the point where that would be the one game, the only game that they had to get up for. But no. They went on to lose 2 of their last 3, and now you look up in Buffalo 7-4. They went from a foregone conclusion to winning the AFC East. And now it looks like it's the Patriots to walk away with. On the other side, Steelers probably get Aaron Rodgers back. I don't know what difference it makes, which is wonderful for me as a Ravens fan because the Steelers are doing what they have to do. The Ravens are doing what they have to do. Buffalo is going to have to learn in this offseason because it's too late to learn it now. You got to get weapons for Josh Allen. It doesn't matter how indestructible he seems. He needs more because the best quarterbacks around the league have more. Denver Broncos, 6-point favorites on the road against the Commanders. Washington is really just playing out the string with this Marcus Mariota thing. There's no reason to bring Jaden Daniels back. They're 3-8. Nothing to play for, so to speak. You only risk hurting Jaden Daniels further. Let him and Juju Watkins just live their best life. This is not a week that we learn anything more about Denver. So Denver wins big on the road. Monday night, finally, New York Giants versus the New England Patriots. Like I said earlier, Patriots just walking away with this one. I'm watching this game to see what the Giants do. I don't know if they're going to bring Jackson Dart back. He's cleared concussion protocol. But the Jameis experience was fun, right? Trick plays, threw 2 touchdowns, caught a touchdown. Like, don't we want more of that? Don't we need more of that? I don't feel like they play this fast and loose if Jackson Dart's there. I know you want to bring the rookie back and the rookie needs to get reps, but since I don't have a vested interest in this unless I'm taking a prop in this game, and by the way, the prop to take in this game is Trey Johnson over whatever they have the line at for receptions and yards because Jameis is going to go to him even if he's double covered. So go with Trey Johnson. But the Patriots have things to worry about as well. You lose your left tackle. That is huge. Will Campbell is out. A young quarterback losing their premier left tackle could be a big deal. Could be a big deal. Not going to be a big deal in this game, though. I think the Pats win big. Even with that line at 7, I do think they cover that line. That is a short NFL Week 13. That is it for the Accredited. The guys will be back next week. We'll be on the road. We'll tell you where next week, but stay tuned and stay locked into everything that we're doing. I promise a mailbag episode's coming. We're saying it every week. Somebody's going to hold us accountable at some point. Y'all be easy. Some fans watch. Real fans play. Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook turns every match, every shot, every score into your moment. The better you know the game, the better you play. Now with smarter features and a bigger experience, Everybody Wins Live Sportsbook, built for players who live the game.
This Christmas, Everybody Wins Live is giving you a chance to win a gift of a